Creator of the universe, what can't you do? What can't you do, Jesus? You're the name above every other name. What can't you change? What can't you change, Jesus? He's an able God, and there's nothing He cannot do for you, for me. And yesterday I got to understand that it's just a matter of time, and everything that you've been praying for, anticipating that the Lord will do, it will come to pass. It will come to pass, because I felt like there are so many things that you pray for, wait on God for, but it's like they are taking forever. And then I was sharing with my brother about a certain thing that I was feeling. I've prayed for this thing. I think I'm done praying for it. And then my brother just said, it's just that it's a person I was praying for. And then my brother said, it's just that the time for that person to change hasn't yet come. So even if you keep fasting and praying, you cannot force God to do it until the time for that person to change comes. Until the time comes. The set time, the time that the Lord has set for him to change. Until that time comes, you cannot force the guy to change. You cannot force him to be who you'd like him to be. And I was like, okay. And then he reminded me, he gave me that example of Moses. He stayed in Egypt for 40 years, then went to live with Jethro for 40 years. All that was training. Imagine training for 40 years and another 40 years. And then he goes to Egypt, takes the Israelites out of Egypt, and walks with them in the desert for another 40 years. And I got to understand it's like Moses took 80 years to be prepared by God. 80 years. Just because of the task ahead, which was going to last for 40 years. Because as we know, he lived for 120 years. So it's 40 years in Egypt, 40 years with his father-in-law Jethro and the family, 40 years in the desert or wilderness with the Israelites. And I was like, what? And God took 80 years to prepare Moses. Well, to me, it's many years, but if the kind of work your God is preparing for is really big and tough, he has to harden you, he has to fully equip you. And I believe that that person that I'm praying for, to me, he has stayed for so long without changing, but I believe very soon, time of God, when God's time comes, he will change him, and it will be a testimony. I won't even remember the many years that I've spent praying for that person. And I want to encourage you this day that whatever God is preparing for you is great and is big. So don't rush. Let him finish the preparations, and once it's done, you will get your blessing and you will love it. I believe you will love it. So let's hold on. Let's hold on. Change is on the way. God is coming to show up and to show off. Yes. Bless you.